At the end of 28 years later, we met the Jimmies. They were a strange bunch, and they didn't really fit with the vibe of that movie. But they are the focus of the Bone Temple, the Jimmies, and how they operate. Some people have suggested that this movie should have been released first. Maybe it should. I don't think it's better, I just think it's different. It's a different reaction to coping with the situation that has happened to the UK in the wake of the rage virus. At the beginning of the movie, we learn that the Jimmies, they're all called Jimmy, are a rotating cast. Sir Lord Jimmy Crystal recruits new members from the people they kill. If they are quote unquote lucky, they might be able to fight an existing Jimmy to win a spot. Spike, who was basically the main character of the last movie, gets lucky and manages to win his spot. In the Bone Temple, he kind of takes a step back in importance, but this makes sense. He's still just a kid and he's walked into a situation he can't control. The situation is a cult led by Sir Lord Jimmy Crystal, who's recruited some vulnerable young people and with whom he roams around the countryside, killing and taking what he can. Most of them are children who've grown up after the apocalypse, and they have some strange ideas. One of them says at some point, "Is he even a real Sir Lord?" They're somewhat detached from reality. They grew up in the wild and haven't had the chance to form a halfway decent society like what we saw in the first film. So that's the first main story thread. The other main story thread deals with Rafe Fiennes and his performance as Dr. Ian Kelson. It's a fantastic performance. He's much more central to the plot than in 28 years later. As we've seen, he's got a fantastic bedside manner, and he's also a music fan. We hear some stuff from Duran Duran, from Radiohead, and most notably from Iron Maiden. Kelson's been living by himself since the apocalypse, but he's still connected to reality, unlike the Jimmies. He's a flexible thinker, he's a calculated risk taker. And if you haven't seen the movie, I won't spoil it, but how these two storylines collide is absolutely fantastic. As well as the Jimmies, Kelson also deals with Samson. The two of them actually develop some kind of relationship. Part of this is Kelson's basic humanity, but it's also an exploration of the virus, its different aspects, and how it affects Samson. This particular part of the movie, I think it opens up a lot of story ideas for potential future movies. Basically, this is kind of an obvious thing for a zombie movie to think about, but it's taken 4 movies to get here, and I'm fine with raising the idea now. So I won't spoil the end of the movie, what happens with Samson, with the Jimmies, with Dr. Kelson, but I will talk about the very last scene. So Cillian Murphy. Basically, there's been a lot of talk about, is he going to come back to the franchise? And yes, he does come back here. We have a short scene at the end, and it's kind of tacked on right at the very end of the movie, like the Jimmies were tacked on to the last movie, which feels like a bit more of a marketing move than it does actually a natural part of the Bone Temple. It's not a natural part of the story of the Bone Temple. It's just tacked on at the end like the Jimmies, which suggests a lack of confidence that they feel they have to do this, that they have to do a marketing move within the movie. So it was a nice scene. It's good to see him back, but I'd rather just let him have his own movie, like I'd rather have just let the Jimmies have their own movie. I do really hope there's a next movie. Spike and one of the other Jimmies, I thought they got on particularly well, and I think there's lots of ways that the franchise could go. There's still lots of story threads to explore. Yeah, if you like it and you haven't seen it yet, I'd suggest you check out The Bone Temple. Thanks for watching.